Good morning, everyone. Welcome out into our backyard here in Dundee, Illinois. Blessed to have you with me today. This coming Sunday, our gospel, Jesus starts talking to us about what it is that comes from our heart, the way in which that impacts the world. Actually, some of the religious leaders are challenging the disciples for eating without washing their hands first. Actually, that's a big topic for nowadays, right? Washing your hands. Also for eating, quote, non-clean foods, non-kosher foods, if you will, in our language for today. And Jesus says it's not what comes into you that defiles you, it's what comes out that is defiling to the world, because it comes from your heart. What comes out of your heart? What comes out of your spirit that you send out into the world? You might be able to hear behind me some of the birds. Hopefully you heard that one. Some of the insects, some of the cicadas in the area. Um, you know, they release into the creation very simply, just their song, their voice. There's no agenda to it. There's no anger to it. There's no hatred to it. It's just them releasing what is in their heart into the world. And in this case, what they're releasing from their heart is thankfulness, the love that they are here in the first place, that they get to live in this case, in our yard. What are we thankful for? What do we release into the world? You know, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I hope people understand where it comes from. The truth is that if we spend every waking moment of our lives focused on humanity and humanity alone, we will often find ourselves being disappointed. Think about that. You watch the news, for example, or you listen to politics, for example, or you listen to Entertainment Tonight and all these interviews with stars and things like that. The truth of the matter is that, you know, if we focus on humanity only, we're going to find things like greed, anger, hatred, judgment, division, all these things that are just defiling to the world. And yet within us is also God's Spirit, love, grace, peace, joy, thankfulness, hope. All those things exist within us too. We are very complex spiritual creatures. Then you walk out into God's creation, and all you experience is the creation filled with love as God made it at its most simplest form. There isn't hatred out here. There really isn't anger out here. We have to take time in our lives to go out into the world, experience that which we seek, so that what comes out of our hearts is born out of calmness and peace and appreciation instead of division or frustration or anger. It actually does take work on our parts to make sure that we care for our soul, that we care for our hearts, so that what comes out of us and goes out into the world is a blessing and not something that defiles the world around us. That which comes from the heart. Remember this. Our hearts are the office as a blessing into the world. What comes from our hearts? This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.